Okay, so this is Mr. Rhee, Surviving the Nightmare World, and this is...
Hi, I'm Julia Hearn from Greenbrier Games.
Okay, so tell us about it.
Cool. All right, so Mr. Rhee is your everyman, trying to do good in a world gone bad.
Okay.
He is part of a universe that's based on a horror comic, Tales of Mr. Rhee. He is the star. However, in the game, like in the comic, he's not a superhero. It's a horror comic, not a hero comic.
Okay.
So it is a world where all the nightmares are real. So if you imagine every horror trope from multiple cultures, if they were actually real, what would it be like? And so this is the 3 days of darkness when they all come out and actually reveal themselves.
Okay.
So in the game, you're in Megalopolis, the major city.
Okay.
And you're at several of the locations that you put out, depending on how many players there are, so it scales. You pick the heroes. One player picks the heroes they're going to play. And those heroes have specific abilities. Mr. Rhee, of course, being the one that most people typically play, but he has his allies that he would work with.
Okay.
And they're trying to keep the innocence of the town protected.
Okay.
Every single one of them can be found in the original comic, so they're a little bit of an Easter egg. So you have lots of different characters.
Awesome.
So they're here in the various locations.
Okay.
And they're trying to be protected against the villains who are working together. So it's a one versus many game.
Okay.
One person is moving all the heroes and playing and trying to defend the innocents, and each other person is playing one of the villains.
Nice.
All of them, again, from the horror comic.
Okay.
The villains each have their own unique win condition, so they can win the game by doing something that is reflective of the type of character they are.
Okay.
So Thelma Lishkin, for example, who we're looking at, is the CEO of the biggest conglomerate, media business conglomerate in the world. She also happens to be a serial killer. Like you do. And her win condition is racking up a body count. Hers is pretty straightforward. Versus, let's see, her William, or his demon name Willowrips.
Okay.
He's her head of security. He's just trying to get rid of all the officers in the innocent pile so that he can put in his own people, so that when chaos happens, he's controlling the situation. He's got the military might. So each one has their own separate win condition. If they make their win condition, game over, immediately they win. The heroes are trying to hold out for the 3 days and keep as many innocents alive. So they're not actually, there's no solid win. Again, it's not a hero comic, it's a horror comic.
Yeah.
So the heroes only win if they can make it all 6 rounds, day and night, of the 3 days of darkness.
Okay. Awesome. So we start on day 1, we go to night 1, we go to day 2, then night 2, and
Correct.
so on. Okay.
Power-wise, let's see. The villains are going to spend greed to recruit minions and then play them to attack the innocents.
Okay.
Each one has a unique power and lots of different types.
Nice.
Once they spend the greed, it flips to hope. And the heroes can use hope to gather up their abilities. Depending on the hero, they're going to either use charm, try to talk their way out of it. Listen, you don't want to pick this fight. This is not a good place. Or magic. Some of them have small amounts of magical ability. Or they're going to try to throw a punch. Not successfully, typically.
Okay. This looks great. So when is this coming to Kickstarter?
This is coming to Kickstarter late spring of 2019.
Awesome. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great day. Okay, this is Walter Barber with Fire for Light at Greenbrier Games. So Walter, what is Fire for Light?
Fire for Light is the next big box game from Greenbrier coming to Kickstarter late 2019. It is a hybrid tabletop and digital game, so there is a digital app component to it. The app only houses a very complicated, branching, evolving, living story. The app's only purpose is to turn what would be a Bible of tiny, tiny text and all these branching story paths into a very easy to navigate system where you can just pull up these story moments. So this game is really focused on the narrative of these two sisters. We've got these two girls, Nari and Iris. These two sisters that live in this little makeshift tent town in the middle of nowhere in a world where it's been snowing for 100 years. Snowing for 100 years and no one knows why. It's been snowing for as long as anyone can remember. Nari is this bookworm, sort of librarian kind of girl, and she's been trying to find out. She's been obsessed with reading every book she can about the past. Her older sister is the rough and tumble badass, gonna go out and scavenge some stuff. Few people ever leave to go wander out through this very scary, snowy wilderness. And she goes out and she comes back with some pieces, and one day she comes back with this big, exciting, this relic, this what looked like to us is this like computer chip. And Nari's like, I've seen this before in my books, and please let me have this, please let me study it. And she studies it, and she gets blasted with this big image. So all this narrative is being told to you by the app. And in the app, you will see Nari's vision. She sees this bizarre face in the snow, and she's obsessed with trying to find out where that is from. So they are gonna, first quest is the two sisters, and if you're playing with more characters, there are some other people from town who come out and join them, but these two sisters are out looking for this cave.
Okay.
Cave, in quotes, where Iris first found this part. And so the app will instruct you to draw main quest number 1. It gives you all the details about what tiles to put out and what you're looking for, and in this case, you're looking for some shrines which hold the password to get in. So here on the board, you see there are these spaces with codes on these tiles, A04, B07, what have you.
Okay.
You type those into the app, and now here we have a very simple, just web browser prototype of what that app will look like. Okay. You type in, let's say you went to the pig pens, you type in A04, you'll see a quick piece of story with some options. The options lead to more options. What's most important is that the app remembers every choice you've made, everything you do in the game, the app remembers, and that's going to change what's available to you later in different ways. And that's really, the world is evolving as you're going. But at its core, it's a story about surviving out in the wilderness. So everything in the game is trying to kill you. You are constantly freezing to death out in the snow, running out of food. Monsters, bizarre monsters, are coming to find you. The system all works on these tokens. So everyone will draw 4 tokens when your party is at full spirit, though as you get cold out there in the wild, you'll draw fewer and fewer as you go. But you draw these 4 tokens. Everyone playing will get 4 at the same time. And on your turn, you spend these tokens, these actions, to meet the certain requirements on your abilities. And that's the exact same for weapons, your skills, how you move around. What you're trying to do is meet or beat the number, and you can combine multiple tokens to reach that number if you want.
Okay.
If the colors don't match, your weapon or the skill slowly degrades. It gets worse over time. If they do match, however, you did it perfectly. You critically did it. You don't lose anything for doing it. So it's this puzzle every round for you to place out these tokens. But it's very, very quick because everyone's got this set of actions that they can look at as they go that they'll then place out.
Okay. So you said something about minis.
Oh yeah. So this is another big box game from us, like Folklore. So there will be a lot of minis in this box, and we are currently exploring options to create a pre-painted option for backers as well. This is not a scale model. This is just a color test to show you, but we'll be doing a pre-painted option for backers as well with the minis. I can't disclose at this time, but we're working with an amazing company to create the app, which I'm very excited about. So it's going to be this big partnership. We're putting a lot of eggs in the Fire for Light basket. We're really investing a lot. So one of the things you'll have to do as you're moving around this map is fight monsters. Monsters have a very simple AI system. They basically have this flow chart of abilities that they do. Every turn you read through their flow chart. So let's say this skeleton came out. The skeletons will be marked with little pips on their base. This is skeleton number 3. Okay. Let's say he's out there. When you damage it, you'll deal your damage cubes to skeleton number 3. And that's how we'll track multiple different monsters at once. The game is a very robust level up system. There's tons of options. Just one of those options I'll show here is you can customize your skills. So let's say Iris, who's a weapon specialist, this badass girl, she can modify her melee weapons by giving them these extra abilities. Or she can, in this case, increase her leap skill, giving it a meteor power, giving it a little burn effect, and things like that. So you can specialize your abilities as you go. There are big party upgrades where we're able to unlock the next tier for all our characters on their different stats. And as you know, everyone watching, these are all prototype things. We're gonna be really going for deluxe components on this with spinners and lots of nice.
Yeah, with this being about almost a year away, there's a good chance. Yeah. So yeah, and full disclosure, the art will change. The prototype stuff will always change. Yeah.
Here's a quick look at one of the first dungeons that you'll walk through after you've explored the wilderness. You make it inside that cave.
Okay.
And it's this bizarre tech. You're in this hand of a giant robot, and as you move through, in this case, it's supposed to pulling out these semi-random tiles. These are very scripted. The dungeons are like very similar to shrines in Breath of the Wild. There are these little moments where you're solving quick little puzzles and then fighting a big boss at the end. And so there'll be a lot of small dungeons punctuated by big moments.
Okay. That was Fire for Light from Greenbrier Games. Thank you guys for watching.